Hey, how's everybody doing?
Morning,
Mikey. How are you?
Muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto.
I know about enough Spanish to know how to order food in restaurants and to know when I'm being cussed
Like
at.
taco, burrito,
Yeah, just say it louder.
Nacho.
Slower. Yeah.
quesadilla.
Am I the only one? Do we look like small, medium, and large here? What's going on with the
Nacho?
No.
Nachos?
No. No. Oh man, how was your guys' week? How did last night go? How did youth group go this week? Any funny stories?
Oh, funny stories. Let's see. We had a kid who likes to play the drums, and it's in our chapel, but it's not in our meeting room where we meet. And he was insistent. No. He was insistent. He's like, "Can I play the drums at 7:30?" I was like, "No, that's when we are going to be like in our meeting and worship and stuff." He's like, "Yeah, but Steve, who's a volunteer of ours, he's like, he can just come and chaperone me while I'm in there and just playing." And I was like,
he's got nothing else to do.
Yeah, nothing else to do. And but he asked me at least like 10 times to play the drums. And then yeah, I was like, it's not really funny. I was just like, dude, no, you are not doing this. But yeah, he's just he's a funny kid.
Okay.
Funny kid.
Here's a beef. One, any instrument that's out, kids just assume they can play it. If it's a piano in a fellowship hall, if it's drums on a stage, if they're in the room, they have not just their ability, they have the permission to do that. with full, like, just I of course I'm allowed. There's a piano here. I'm allowed to play the 6 bars of the one song that I know 12 times over and over and over again. That is beyond me. That is beyond me. Why kids think that drives me nuts. The only thing that's worse than that, this is a hot take. Every real musician, I don't care what they play, thinks that they're not bothering anybody when they just pull out their guitar and play their guitar all the time everywhere they go. And it makes me want to go.
Story behind this?
I know, yes.
Tell me you have not experienced this. Tell me you don't know a guitar player that just pulls out.
Let me just pull my guitar out real quick.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of the song God of Wonders?
It makes me want to go like full Animal House and just grab the guitar and smash it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's a story behind this.
Yeah, there's some bitterness. Maybe it's because I went to a Christian college. Maybe that's just what happened all the time at a Christian college.
Yeah, that's valid. That's true.
And my roommate was a guitar player. Like, it was just nonstop.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I made a deal with this young man. I said, "Listen, next week, if you show up at 5:30, you can play." He's like, "For the whole hour?" And I said, 30 minutes. He's like, "Okay, fine." I was like, "All right, deal." So that way, hopefully, you won't be asking me all of youth group, "Can I go to the chapel and play the drums?" No, you can't.
Time to talk to mom. Get this kid drum lessons. That's not what youth group's for.
Seriously, like, yeah. So anyway, Mikey, what about you?
Well, since we're on the music theme, I kind of like this. This is great. Our assistant worship pastor helps lead worship for us at youth group, so he'll show up. But he's also my friend from college, so he shows up, and I can clearly tell he is stressed out. And I'm like, yes, there's blood in the water. I can come up to him. I can annoy him. Every joke I make, everything I do is gonna have double the impact in his suffering, and I'm gonna get double the joy of watching him suffer. So he comes in, he's like running late, he clearly, doesn't have things figured out. See, this is also leadership 101, guys. This is what you do. This is how you build a culture, a healthy culture. He shows
Somehow
up.
I doubt, but
He's
go
got
ahead.
students. He's trying to teach them how to play. And I'm like, I'm going to get up there and I'm going to just start slapping on the bass with him during his song. So I get up there. I just start.
Did you just say slapping onto bass?
I just slap.
Slapping
I'm
the
not
bass
playing
on.
anything. I'm just slapping the bass. I'm not playing nothing. I'm slapping it. Just. And then, he kind of looks, glares at me. I'm not plugged in or anything. And then I start doing the shakers, trying to give.
Oh
my gosh!
And I am not have no rhythm, so I'm just trying to give anything, and he and then they get through the song, and I'm like, hey man, like, what's wrong? Why are you so upset? It's like gaslighting him. Like, why would you be mad? Like what is bothering you right now? It's not me, is it?
So this is like the most Will Ferrell thing I've ever pictured you doing.
Oh, this is what he does the same thing to me. Okay, so if he does the same thing. All right, if I'm like stressed out, he will take my sermon, my talk for youth group and hide it. If he can.
What?
Oh my gosh!
Whoa! Yeah. See, listen, I can slap the bass. If
slap the bass. Yeah.
Okay, you didn't tell us this is like full on prank war.
Yeah, level. It does have that element to it.
Because this sounds really like unsolicited, very malicious. But
it's been years, decades,
plus
of just pure
centuries
animosity.
of conflict. Yeah,
it's our love language. He's one of my best friends, so we love doing it with each other. It's a great time. We don't let each other take ourselves too seriously, which is kind of funny. Like, good. You are in youth ministry, so why would you ever think you could take yourself seriously? But it happens. So you need people in your life to sort of.
I do think that is a. When we look at guys that like pastors that have like imploded, right? There is a fail safe for your ego in youth ministry, and that is middle schoolers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like it's a wonderful fail safe. Like they love you, but they're gonna be like, hey, got a haircut, huh?
Hey.
Like, hey, put on a few pounds, huh?
Need some new shoes. Yeah. Don't you?
Hey, those that t-shirt's older than me. Don't you think it's time to get some new clothes? Zero filter.
Yeah. So maybe the moral of the story is every senior pastor should participate in youth ministry.
Just in youth ministry, yeah. Humble them.
That's why they don't. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not even an ego thing. No. It's like self-esteem. It's a self-esteem.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in my car and cry at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Well,
did you cry last night?
I think I'm not admitting anything. But I will say last night was not an awesome night for me because I just felt like gross. I just felt like not even like specific sick, just kind of like malaise. And I crawled through the night, but it might be because of re-entry, right? Because we were all gone last week. We were all at our conference, the PCA NextGen Conference, right?
And there were no guys walking around with guitars playing at it. It's nice, refreshing.
I don't think I saw I think you're absolutely right. Even David and Jono, who led worship, did not.
They didn't do it to us.
They didn't do it to us. Those guys are top notch. They're top notch. But yeah, what was a highlight for you guys of the conference? Like what was some of the Lara, what was a highlight for you?
Yeah, for me, honestly, the connections that were formed. I just pray that those, continue. It's interesting because the connections at conferences and friendships that are formed really, I mean, kind of the re-entry back, I felt like, okay, that was fuel for me to continue and to keep going. So yeah, I think just the friendships, seeing old friends, making new friends, that was a highlight for sure.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well,
you guys?
For me, so okay, I brought my new team out from Colorado Springs. So I had the two guys, and they were making fun of me incessantly. They kept calling me the social butterfly. They're like, Matt's in his element, and they kept tapping out. Mariposa. They kept tapping out like before I would like, we're going back to the hotel. We're done. We can't do this anymore. You know, at 11 o'clock at night, like not early. But I will say this: I feel like for us, or for me, it feels more like a dad at Christmas than a kid at Christmas. Like the joy that I get is giving it to everybody instead of what I get out of it. And I don't know how to explain this. It's not pride, like parental pride, but like, oh, I know what it's like when you love a movie or you love a book or you love something and you're telling everybody like, you got to read this book or you got to watch this movie, and they do. And then they like it as much as you do. That's how I felt about Joe Novenson speaking.
Yeah.
I felt like, you guys, I want you to be encouraged like I've been encouraged by this guy and blessed by like I've been blessed by this guy, and then to have him go up there, which I mean, it wasn't a surprise, but that was a highlight from the number one thing I think listed by it was Joe Novenson speaking. So I think there was a not pride isn't the right word. I don't know what the right word is, but joy in sharing that with everybody.
Yeah, it's interesting when a 73-year-old man stands up to talk to, younger folks than 73. There are some older guys in youth ministry out there, and like Patrick's there. There was maybe one or two Christians there. There were guys there. But Joe being 73 talking to us, even the way he started off the conference where he said, I'm blown away that a bunch of youth leaders would want a 73-year-old man like me to come speak to them. And I was like, yeah, dude, we want you. Like, don't hold back,
need it.
whatsoever. Give it to us.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mikey.
Oh, no, man. If you guys come on.
Well, no, I mean, like we don't, our keynote speaker, I think this is actually an interesting thing to talk about. Our keynote speaker is not really about how to do youth ministry. And we have never looked for the it guy in youth ministry to be the speaker. The main speaker is there to encourage and really pour into your heart with the gospel and to understand the nature of ministry. I think in general, I think if you were at the if you were in children's ministry, if you were in women's ministry, if you were in men's ministry, if you would have come to hear him speak, I think you would have walked away equally encouraged.
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting hallmark of what we do is like, it's not, there's so much that's core to every Christian, and it's the gospel, and there's core to ministry. Let's have the main speaker speak into that, and then let's us do the seminars for the specific nuts and bolts stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But so what about you, Mike? Other than Joe, what was the highlight? I called Joe, so you don't get to.
Oh, man, fall down. Give me more Joe. Joe. I actually recorded them on my phone, the talks. So I was like, I can't miss this opportunity. The quality of the recordings are absolute garbage, but the content is still there.
That seems like on brand for us. That's good. Yeah. That's consistent with who we are.
This is how we do things.
This is how we roll. Yeah.
So, okay, the memory I keep coming back to is we go out one night with there's other people, other churches there. We go to Guinness because apparently in Baltimore is the place where Guinness is brewed. The only place.
There is a Guinness brewery in the United States, the only one, and it's in Baltimore. Yeah.
And it's awesome. I mean, it is a cool setup they have there.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a great restaurant too.
From a guy from Lecanto, when in Baltimore. Go to the Guinness.
Go to Guinness.
I'm sure everyone in Baltimore who's from Baltimore is like, that's the worst place ever. But it is really great. So we go there. Where I had a Guinness. I hadn't had a Guinness in a decade. That might have been actually one of my first beers. When I was 21, was a Guinness. But it was delicious. I don't know why I haven't gone back. I do get though, because it's not really like an easy drink necessarily. The Guinness, like it's smooth, but it's more like a coffee to
Yeah.
me than like a
Heavy.
refresher. You know what I mean? It's refreshing,
Yeah.
smooth, but it's not like, hey, like drink this with wings or something like that. Like, I don't know if I would do that. Maybe people are like, yeah, I would eat that with wings. But I got a burger with it. I had a Guinness. It was really, really great with great people talking about the most random things ever, but also talking about ministry, the ups and downs in life with other people that I just met. And then we all get into a car. You know, we're all getting into different cars, and I end up in the back seat with these two other guys. I mean, we're not like the smallest men. There's clearly like, but we were in the back, of course, like these huge, I'm pretty short, but the other guys were quite bigger guys, and so the memory is like we're just driving and we're all just laughing so hard. I don't even know what we're laughing at, but I'm in the
Yeah.
back seat laughing, like dying laughing with these other people because one person who I just met at the conference. It was great. Just really a rich experience on my end, just to have a little bit of a respite from the ups and downs of ministry and the grind of ministry.
Yeah.
Because you're really kind of mid-fall, mid-semester, mid-programming, and really getting
Yep.
a breath of fresh air. The weather was spectacular. The other
Oh,
thing,
it's gorgeous. Yeah.
was, what was I going to say? Oh, was just seeing the different versions. I think one of the things I love about the conference is you have volunteers coming in youth ministry. You also have not only volunteers, but you have like pastors, ordained pastors that are in youth ministry. You also have you have youth leaders, people that just do middle school ministry, people that just do high school ministry. You had some people who also did college, and then you have this gambit of ages and cultures. Like just from different areas and regions. Katie sent us, she's part of our team. She sent us the map. She did all the conference administration. She sent us the map of the region where everyone was from. And you could just see like
Hmm.
people in Florida. Yeah. And people from all over the country, Northeast, a lot of East Coasters. And then you had some people out West. I think there was a guy from California that came, which was
Yep.
awesome. Up North, in like Michigan, and then you had some of the Midwest, and I was like, this is just such a great picture. It wasn't like geographically located, even though there was more East Coast, but
Yeah.
kind of like an encouragement of like, this is like really a representation in a lot of ways of the PCA and youth ministry across the country. And so that was just
Yeah.
really fun to see, and to see what we have in common, and to see where we're different. Just
Right.
enjoyable.
Yeah. 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 It was yeah, it was so encouraging just to hear just other people's stories. And we kind of started the conference with prayer, or we did start the conference with prayer, and just praying for one another, and just hearing kind of how people were showing up and arrived. I thought was very yeah, just I left so encouraged by the entire thing. But that map is really cool too, to see where everyone's coming from.
Yeah, I don't know if we're able to actually show it on the screen, which that would be really awesome for people if they're watching on YouTube, they could see it. But
Yeah.
it was yeah, we probably can't. We haven't. We'll figure it out one of these days how to
Yeah.
share stuff from our screen. But
Right.
today's not that day.
Yeah.
I might try. Let's see.
Oh, Matt might be able to do it.
I might be back. I might try. If we could be patient. Let's see.
And there was also one of those nights, like I think what was it? It was probably the first night where we did a bonfire, or was that the second night? I can't remember.
No, yeah, that was the first night.
Yeah, and that was just a good
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
Often
Hey, look,
s'more
there's the map.
hey, there's the map. Look, you can see where all these jokers are
Oh,
from. It is really cool. We need to
yeah.
get some people from Montana. We're lacking there,
Yep. Mhm.
slacking. So if you're in Montana, if you
Come
want to
next
come,
year to St.
actually, I'll
Louis.
say this: if you want to come to St. Louis, I will help you.
Mikey is writing a check his
I
body
think
can't cash.
I'm not going to guarantee that I can pay for the whole thing, but talk to me, and I'm going to make it happen for you. We're going to make it
No,
happen.
but this is very exciting. Our desire is to grow our community and connect. We know there's people doing it. Let's get everybody connected, and we're making progress. We got out to California.
Yep, and New Mexico.
New Mexico. That's right. Absolutely. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yep. So Montana, you're next.
Montana.
Mikey will pay for it. Is that what you said? Mikey,
no,
you're
I
gonna
did
pay
not say
for
I'd
it?
pay for it. I said I will.
That's what I heard.
That
Sorry,
that
never mind.
escalated quickly.
I
It
will.
did.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah,
Either
yeah.
I will. You can stay with me in my hotel room. We can share a bed. It'll be great.
Yeah, that really just got a lot less appealing. That
probably
crashed
did.
and burned. Yeah.
Actually, I did invite somebody. I said, if you can get there, you can stay in our place, and they did. They stayed in our hotel room.
There you go.
His name was Joe, not the speaker. Although that would have been hysterical if he had to stay with me.
Joe Novenson stay with you.
It was, but
that would have been trauma.
Other Joe, younger Joe, he came from Anderson. He's a senior at Anderson, and he came up, and we got him an air mattress and put him in the corner, shoved him over there. But like literally the first I met him, and a few hours later we're sharing a room together. It was great. So.
Are you the one that ditched your air mattress in my pickup truck?
No.
That's the weirdest thing. Somebody left an air mattress in my pickup truck, like in a box, like folded up in a box.
Sounds like youth ministry, man, right there.
It's like the dumbest prank ever. Like I don't know how that was a prank. Put it in my rental pickup truck. But yeah. Well, speaking of the conference, one of I think the highlights of what Joe talked about was this idea of creating your fellowship of the ring, right?
Hmm.
Your cadre, like who are your people? Why do you think we need to do that, Lara?
Yeah, I'll share a story with you guys. And I think this story, hopefully it will kind of say the why behind it. But during one of probably the heaviest like ministry seasons, really just the heaviest time in my life a few years ago, that I've ever walked through, two of my coworkers at the time, who were also just dear friends, we were at dinner together, and I had mentioned planning to go to Waco. I was in Dallas at the time, so driving to Waco to go to Celebration, which is Chip and Joanna Gaines. They have this weekend festival. One of my favorite bands, Johnny Swim, was going to be there and have a booth set up and screen printing T-shirts and stuff. So I said, hey, like I'm going to go there. And without hesitation, one of my coworkers said, if you're going, I'm going.
Aww.
And then my other coworker was like, yeah, I'm going too. And they both skipped work and came with me. And the next morning we're driving to Waco, and I didn't realize how much I needed it. We laughed, ate way too many cupcakes, and talked about everything but ministry. And for the first time in months, I felt light again. I felt like I kind of had this, I used to have this poster in my room several years ago of a tandem bike, and it said, people need other people. And I felt like I was riding a tandem bike and I had been pedaling alone, exhausted. And it's like suddenly like they climbed on and helped me carry that load. And, that day it didn't fix all the problems that I was facing in ministry and in my own life. But what it did was it reminded me that I'm not alone. And that day really rekindled my joy. And that's what creating a fellowship, I think, is all about. People who will show up and say, I'm with you. If you're going, I'm going with you. And it's going to be okay. And, those times where ministry can be heavy and be hard, friendship restores laughter and rest and fun. I think, Mikey, you were talking about this, about just like, having fun and not taking yourself too seriously. And I was just reminded, like, life with Christ includes joy. It includes fun and includes play. And so true fellowship, brings that refreshment to the soul like it did for me that day. And um yeah, because life isn't meant to be done alone, and we all need a fellowship for the journey. So that hopefully that kind of explains the why behind why we need it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I feel like um everywhere I've worked, every place I've lived, I have accidentally fallen into a very close friendship with another guy.
Mhm.
And like I can look back and I'm like, oh yeah, like and there's and we're still friends to this day. They're not
Yeah.
exclusive to that location, but like I don't know why. Like our good friend Katie here, she's helping us with the podcast, and but like we both know Paul Kangas from Severna Park. Like Paul and I sat down for the first time to meet when I was started to work there, and we went to a lunch, and we stayed there so long we went into the dinner. You know what
Love
I mean?
that.
Like we could have ordered
Yeah.
again.
Yep.
Every place, and that's actually one of the things that that was not my goal, that was not my intention. But
Yeah.
as I've transitioned to a new place, I've looked back and I go, I don't know who my Paul is going to be here.
Hmm.
And that's actually something like we forget that one of Jesus's miracles was being over 30 and having 12 close friends.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's a challenge, but
Yep.
I think where we start to create that is you know um we look to build community with the people that are immediately around us. We start to do that with um like I'm trying to do that with my team, and not just
Mhm.
accomplish tasks, but be close to one another and have communication time that's not about just what we do. I think we can we look for it in who around us just geographically is doing what we're doing, and how can we support one another. And I think if you're not connected to anybody, just cold call, man. Just look for the
Yeah.
other youth directors, youth leaders, whether they're paid, whether they're volunteer, whether whatever, who's doing youth ministry, and just try to connect with them. Don't try to get them to come to your stuff. Don't try to just, hey, we're spilling the same blood in the same mud. How
Yeah.
can we encourage one another? And then
Mhm.
the funny thing is how the conference, this I think is true of camps and retreats. If you go to the same kind of camp and retreat or trip or whatever, and there's leaders that you only see there,
Mhm.
there's this weird youth ministry thing where like you have instant kind of friend status, and they're like, oh, I can't wait to see my friend. And your wife or your husband might be like, do you know that person? I'm like, well, yeah, they're because they're not a
Yeah.
part of your daily life, but you're so excited to see them. And I think
Yeah.
the conference can be like that too, where you can connect to
Mhm.
people. Um, you can build that community even if it's a long distance one. I mean, like the closeness that we have, despite our geographic difference, has been engendered over working together on this team, doing the podcast, and just
Mhm.
like caring for one another. We text each other like, hey, are you okay? What's going on with this? And it is fun, like to see the challenges that we both face and be able to speak truth into them to encourage one another. Like I remember a situation with Lara where I observed something, and I
Mhm.
walked up to you and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this, isn't it? And she's like, you were like, oh, thank you for saying it. like
Yep.
you didn't know if you were
Yep.
crazy or not. I was like, oh no,
You're
this
right.
is obviously this is A, B, and C.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I remember that. It's like, okay, thank you. Glad
Yeah,
I'm not the
yeah,
only one
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
it. Yep.
I
Yep.
was like, oh no, you shouldn't have to deal with this. This is
Yeah.
nonsense. This
Yeah.
is absolutely nonsense. And
Yeah.
it's we're speaking in code. The names are being changed to protect the guilty, but
Right. Yeah.
that's a huge part of it, right? Like
Mhm.
we try so hard relationally, we work so hard relationally that we need to be poured into relationally. We need
Yeah.
that tank kind of filled. Um,
Mhm.
Mikey, like how would you kind of break down what does that look like? What does it look like to be in that kind of fellowship, that kind of relationship?
Yeah, I mean, I've been one of the lucky ones to have actually tasted and seen and experienced and felt such fellowship. My I have an Aragorn, I have a Boromir. What Joe was
Yeah.
saying. I have a
Yeah.
Samwise. I have
Yeah.
people that when I'm in trouble, uh, I think at one point he did he blow a horn of Gondor, or he talked about like you have to respond to the horn of Gondor, like the people will come, to it's never not been responded to. I don't know much about Lord of the Rings, but I was like, I do have that. Like I have people that
Mm.
are willing
Mm.
when I call, that know that they have to pick up when I call,
Hmm.
when
Hmm.
I text, that this is me crying out from the dark, from the depths, from the pit, and asking, does God exist? And when they reply or they answer and they respond, I'm reminded that God sees, it's like they're the
Hmm.
hands and feet of Jesus for me in so many ways. One of the things I learned was, well, there's really I think you can really shape this stuff and it can look like in a practical sense of are there people in your life that you talk to them, not about just work, not about your hobbies, I mean, these are all good things. I love college football. So I have friends who that's all I talk with them about all the time,
Hmm.
24/7, about the games, or whatever it may be that ESPN is putting out there. You have that, sure, that's good. And some of those people that you talk to like that can be these people in your fellowship, 100%. The thing though is like, are there people that you sit down and you share with them, like you legitimately share with them, like, I am not doing well with God. Like,
Hmm.
what's my relationship with the
Yeah.
Lord?
Yeah.
I am struggling to believe. I am struggling to have faith. Especially working at a church, you can see how the sausage is made, and you're like, are we doing some things wrong here? And I'm having a hard
Hmm.
time worshiping at church. You need people to be able to say that to. Like, it's hard for me to sit here and be in worship knowing that, my boss is preaching and we had a hard conversation 2 days ago. Do you have people that
Hmm.
you can talk about that and be like, hey, this is what I'm walking through and going through with my spiritual life? Because so much of our spiritual life can get wish-washed together with our actual vocation, and they do go together, but there is that element of you have to have people outside of that, and that it could be someone in your church. I have found it that it is also very helpful to have people outside of the church circles that can handle and field the questions of your spirituality, maybe even more in depth, because they're not looking to you to spiritually lead them in any way, shape, or form. There's not this, exchange of goods in a sense of hey, Mikey, you can't struggle. You're a pastor at this church because that's going to make me struggle. Not that I don't know if anyone in my church would say that, but I do have people that I call upon that I talk with about my relationship with the Lord. The other one would be marriage. If you're married, or your family, your kids, or your parents, whatever that or your siblings, that you are coming to them and you're engaging and talking about the frustrations or the joys that your sister's having a baby, or that one of your siblings is going, the pain of one of your siblings going through a divorce, or these are all things that you walk throughout the year, that people, because you work at a church and you don't have necessarily a quote unquote maybe pastor over you, that aren't pastors aren't asking this of you, because they're asking, how's it going at youth group? How many kids are
Hmm.
coming? Do you have a servant team? Do you have high school leadership? Do you have volunteers? All of that stuff involved there, instead of pastors sitting down and saying, hey, are you guys doing okay with your family? How are your parents?
Hmm.
Uh, do you have someone outside of that circle? And then the other one would be moving from obviously this kind of is a hierarchy, God, family, to then you can maybe have places where you can share candidly about your work, people that you can be candid and be like, man, I'm so mad right now that this happened at work. And, I felt so mistreated in this meeting, where you can maybe share some things and people can field and listen and help you through that pain and hurt that maybe you can't just share with your coworkers or share with the people that work with you, or your volunteers, or your friends, maybe necessarily in that church, because that's their, that's their spiritual leader, that's their pastor.
Hmm.
And then I think this is probably the most important question, is someone you talk about your needs with. Need. You are needy. You're a human being. I
Yeah.
forget who I
Yeah.
was talking to. Emmy was maybe reminding me of this book that one of the professors at Covenant wrote. I forget his name, but it's called "You Are Only Human" or something like that. And so that means you have needs. And sometimes when you're in a ministry, when you're in youth ministry, you're working with so many needy kids, so many vulnerable kids, so many kids
Mhm.
that are coming from chaos, at home. And they're so needy that you are ignoring that you too are just like them and needy of
Mhm.
grace, needy of friendship, needy of people, just like you're being that person to them, you're needy of that same thing. And it didn't go away because a lot of us are in
Yeah.
ministry because someone was that for us in middle school and high school. It didn't go away. It's still
Right,
there
right.
as an
And you
adult.
you bring up something I think really important that we talked about in my my seminar. I was asked a question about like for teaching purposes, when do you share your struggles, right? And we have to be so careful about that and diligent about that that it if you're doing it well, you're being very careful that not to bleed on your kids, but be
Yeah.
vulnerable at the same time. And then what happens is you develop a skill set that makes it hard for you to put that aside and be vulnerable with people unguardedly. Like you're trying not to bleed on kids, you're trying not to put your burdens on them, but like you still have burdens. That's not the place for it, but you do have to find the place for it and not be guarded with that. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's
That
so much
does.
there's so much about what we do that we're conditioned to not be that way.
Oh,
Profession
and you don't have to be that way with your friends. You don't have to be that way with the
right.
people that have earned the right to hear your story, have earned the right to be in your life. And if you're thinking, I don't have anyone that is like that, please, if you're listening to this, let it be known that is a flag, red flag, right? What would we say? Or
Yeah, 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 red
that is,
flag.
Yeah.
be warned. You are in trouble. Maybe not right now in trouble, but there is
Mhm.
something you must find. I mean, you should turn this off right now. Go through your phone and be like, all right, I was really good friends with this person maybe in college. Maybe I just need to call them and start planning out a weekly conversation with this person again and rekindle this friendship again. You have to have friends. You have to have people
Yeah.
that you can lean on and grow that, and share your needs with. Uh,
Mhm.
please seek that out. Also, we're over here too. We would be happy, in
Yeah.
any way, shape, or form to be those people for you, to
Mhm.
be the people you can call upon as well. Uh, I mean, I would be honored, for one, it would be my
Yeah.
honor, so that's one of the things too, is like, hey, like to be needy, and to be vulnerable and to be honest, is such a requirement because, I mean, what if you are in ministry right now and things are going well? I think Matt's talked about this before too. Things could be going great, but you are just dying. You know what I
That
mean?
doesn't mean you're okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you can't breathe and you have
Mm.
thoughts that invade your mind that
Mm.
are confusing you and pondering, and you have nowhere to go. I mean, could it be any more lonely and sad than to be in
Mm.
ministry talking about
Mm.
having to be paid to talk about grace, talk about the
Mm.
gospel, and then also at the same time be like, I taste none of this for
Mm.
myself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's excellent. And I'm going to go I want to encourage us a little bit from the word, but before we go there, if I can ask us, it's going to sound silly on the surface, but it's really not as silly. But like Mikey, you talked about like you have a Boromir, you have an Aragorn, you have a Sam. Like this is kind of a silly question, but like what how would we describe each other? Which Lord of the Rings fellowship person will we describe each other to ourselves? Does that make sense?
Um,
Because we might be different things to different people, but like when I think about Mikey, I think about um you are a Sam and you're also like I forget the other two guys' names, like Mary and Pippin.
I'm also the same size as those guys.
No, I mean like you are so loyal. You're Sam and you're I'll carry you. You have that side to you, but you also make everything so much fun. Like you make everything fun. And
Yeah.
I think that's something that we don't think we need. Like we do that for other people, but that's like we need to have fun. Like you need someone to share your soul with, but you also need to be able to laugh with people and not be guarded about what you say. Which is why we meet before we hit the camera. We let Mikey say everything inappropriate before we
which will be on our Patreon, okay, for $20 a month.
Yeah, Mikey wants to start a Patreon so you can watch the bloopers and the unedited stuff.
The things that should not be said.
Yeah,
that get said.
Lara, honestly, the closest person I can think of for you is Gandalf.
Wow.
You like yeah.
Is it none shall pass?
None you shall not pass.
Yeah. The only line I know.
I feel like I say stupid things and then you drop like wisdom. Like you're like, but you'll do it in the same, like I'll make a joke and you'll be like, ah, that's funny, but the truth is this. And I'm like, I'm always like, yeah, I probably should have said that.
Yeah.
I think you're the wise one of the group. You're the Gandalf.
Oh wow.
To me.
Thank you.
It might, you know, anybody else want to take a I don't want to put you on the spot. Anybody else want to take a stab at it?
I don't know the characters too well to be like, you're so. I know Samwise and Gandalf, and obviously Frodo.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mikey. He's like the guy. I have not read the book, so I don't even know. This could be a terrible.
I know that's where I'm like.
But he's like the guy that in the movie who like gets shot with like 20 arrows and then stands up.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Who's that?
Oh, that's
you, Mikey.
No, that's Boromir.
Yeah, who is that guy?
Who are you saying is like? Oh, I'm Boromir.
You're the guy who stands in front of the halflings. Whoever
after screwing up majorly. Yeah.
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he's a jerk. Yeah.
But then he takes like a gazillion. I remember watching that as a kid and being like, that's a man.
I love that scene. Yeah. Well, like, I feel honored.
But it's like, you're willing to take the, in my mind, take the hits and teach us from protect us from those hits. I've always been shielded by you, protected by you. So I've always enjoyed that. That's been one of the.
I do feel a little bit like a porcupine walking around with all these arrows.
I think you've taken some shots, man.
I've taken some shots.
Yeah, you have taken shots.
And you know what's amazing? You get back up just like that guy does. You don't die. You won't die.
Much to some people's chagrin. Why won't this guy die?
They want you dead. I mean, there's a lot of arrows coming out of you. Just kidding. I'm joking.
Oh my gosh.
It's all spite.
Hilarious.
I'm all motivated out of spite. It's
oh my
funny.
Gosh. Man.
Yeah, in all fairness, I'm just going off of the movies. I haven't read the books either.
I know. I need to read them. I think that would be a
same
endeavor.
I'm an audio at this point. I'm an audiobook guy. I don't like I spend so much time in the car, but all fun and Lara, last call. If you don't want, I'm going to move on unless there's.
You can move. Yeah, you can move on.
Okay, yeah, I kind of put you guys on the spot on that one, but I was reflecting on this and I was thinking about. I was sharing because I'm meeting all new people, so I'm sharing parts of my story, again with a whole new group of people, and the desire to go into law enforcement before I became a Christian, and then becoming a Christian and feeling like I was being called into the ministry, what kind of process that was. And there were elements that parallel that I think on the other side of my life now, I'm seeing like, that makes more sense than it sounded like in the beginning. And one of the things that I was drawn to in law enforcement was fraternity and the idea of doing something difficult together and teamwork and facing the challenge and those kinds of things that have always been appealing to me, like doing hard things, doing them with a group of people that are committed to them and persevering through that. And so this passage has always spoke to that in me and always kind of moved me. And it's Acts. Forgive me while I look off and I read it because I don't want to screw it up. But Acts chapter 2, verses 42 through 47. We all know this. This is after Pentecost. What happened? This is the proto church. This is it beginning and what it looked like. It says, starting at verse 42, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. All the believers were together and they had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and they ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. So when I read this, I look at, what were they devoted to? The apostles' teaching, so that's the word, right? And being together. And I think that there's this false dichotomy of what does it look like to be together? Like, if we're not only studying the word, like, it's a waste of time, right? Instead of like being together and just having fun, as if that isn't a contribution to this. But being together, the breaking of bread, eating food together is really important. Hashtag fat youth pastor. But I mean, all kidding aside, like, it really is. Like, there's something magic that happens to us when we eat together. And I love to cook for people. And I'll tell you, there's nobody that does this like Chris and Karen Hodge, the senior pastor here at Village 7, and his wife. They are fiends about cooking and having people over. And they cook for like the whole church, and they cook, it's incredible. But yeah, everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. So this, I think, might be the sticking point. One of the things that's most challenging in our modern existence is, do you have awe about anything? Are you taken aback by anything? Do you look at anything and go, wow, that is, or are we so kind of like information overload, instant access, instant gratification, that we kind of lack awe? I'm really blessed that I live in the northeast corner of the city, and I have to drive toward the mountain every day. And the mountain's in front of me, and it's just, I still can't get over it yet. Like, I'm still not bored by the mountain. So I'm in this, because I'm in a unique, it's new to me. I'm in awe of it on a regular basis. But for us to have awe in our life of what God's doing, we need to be committed to the word, and we need to be committed to one another. I think those things orient us to awe. Well, that almost sounded like a sermon. That'll preach. Oriented toward awe. That's
yeah.
Like, committing to those things being the center of what we're doing. The apostles' teaching, fellowship with one another, breaking bread breeds awe, right? All the believers were together and had everything in common. Is there anything we're missing in our society more than awe? Would be consensus or continuity. Everything in our world right now is defined by division, even in the church. And this is not an anti-denomination thing. This is like different people, even in our specific churches, wanting to champion certain causes and making those things ultimate, instead of making our fellowship and our unity ultimate over some of our hobby horses, if that makes sense. And when I think about the conference, I think this is really what we tried to do. We tried to be together. We tried to eat together. We tried to enjoy one another. We tried to worship. We listened. We brought in an expert in the word. He would cringe if I heard me said that, but we brought someone well-versed in the word to encourage us in that. And so, we should be making this, our youth groups look like this. We should be making our teams look like this. And we should be making our relationships look like this. So just want to, empower you guys with the word to do this, to be the ones to lead your groups, lead your teams, lead your ministries, and focus on these things so that you can experience the awe and the unity that comes from it. Any last thoughts, guys?
No, that's good. Thanks for the word.
Well, I guess Mikey, any last words?
No, I'm grateful for a vision. Like, I love that the early church is marked by these ordinary things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not fancy buildings or big youth ministries or blow ups or cool video or podcast or AI
or not even miracles.
Just human.
Right? What was the fruit of them being together? It's the and praising God, enjoying the favor of all the people, so they were appreciated by people that weren't Christians, and the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. Not because they were, like you said, doing any of those things or the most exciting thing. Their love and their unity brought other people to salvation.
Yeah.
So I think that's a perfect place to stop. And Lara, if you don't mind, I'll ask you to close us in prayer and then we're done.
Okay.
Thanks.
Heavenly Father, oh Lord, I just pray that we would be those kind of people, that the kind of church that is described in Acts, Lord, that it is a joy to be part of and to participate in the work that you have begun from the beginning, and to be a part of that and to bring that to bear in our own lives and in the lives of students and our teams and our friends and our family and just our neighbor, those who are around us. Lord, I thank you for Mikey and Matt, and Lord, I just pray that we would be reminded of your love for us, your grace for us, and that we would extend that to those around us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Katie, thanks for hanging out and helping us behind the scenes. And you guys, thanks for joining us for lunch. Hope you guys have a great day and a great weekend. See you guys later.